I've seen a lot of vacuums in the marketplace. I had never, ever seen any company that came up with the concept of combining both elements together in one piece of equipment. I love being out in my workshop. It is my favorite place. When my wife and I bought the farm that we live in, the garage was the first thing we renovated. That's how cool my wife is.
It's kind of how it goes.
From Sun Joe, this is an electric wet dry vac and pressure washer. Now listen, you and I both know, and I want to introduce you to another buddy. He was on the show earlier. Scott Hine back with us again.
How are you, man? Good to see you.
You and I are both very doubting Thomas in most of our
You took the words out of my mouth, yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Usually when the company tries to combine two different things, it sucks at both things.
Well, and there's that great saying,
You know,
if you got two, you ain't got one.
Yeah,
and so we were concerned. You and I were concerned. I know where you're going with this.
It's a pressure washer. It is also a waffle iron.
Yeah, right.
No. Sun Joe builds outdoor power equipment. This unit, which is on wheels, is a 1700 PSI pressure washer. But because the heart and soul of a pressure washer is the pump, and the heart and soul of a wet dry vac is also a pump, you've got to move air to make suction. Why not combine both?
It's just a matter of making it go either way. You can go out or in.
With pressure or in.
This
with pressure.
is what Sun Joe does, because you and I were in the same spot. No way, no chance. We
Yeah,
first started,
I know.
and then we started using it. We're like, no way, this works this good.
And I know Joe. I actually know the guy, Joe, who owns the company.
Yep.
And when I first saw this, I laughed. And he is such a brilliant engineer that he just explained it to me that I was thinking the wrong way. And now it's one of my favorite pieces of equipment to present.
This
and
does
this is the first time I've had it on the air.
This is awesome, because you just saw
Here
me
we
dry
go.
vac, okay? Now, with a large majority of shop vacs out there, if you have to go from dry to wet, you have to change a filter, you have to change something, flip a
normally,
switch.
I got to take the filter out when I go to wet.
Watch this.
Not with the
I
Sun
haven't
Joe.
touched the thing. It sucks all the water up now. So we had the dry to the wet in no time flat.
Right away.
And that's what's great about it. So the best way I can tell you about how you want to use this, and there's a million uses, but your car, because you want to vacuum the inside of your car,
and then pressure wash
clean the outside of your car. This is what does it. So let's look at the vacuum part first, okay? So we take this, we attach one of the attachments that comes with it, which is the bristle brush
And I'm
cleaner,
going to step on this just to keep it in place.
Step on that for me. And watch how I'm just taking, you just heard me tell a story. I was at the beach, right? So you use this to vacuum the sand out of the car mats on the beach, or hiking, camping, dirt, whatever it might be. No problems. But, okay, so we're done vacuuming. We vacuum out the car.
Right.
We want to wash the outside of the car. Up until now, that's been a two-machine job.
Absolutely.
All it is now, a flick of the switch job.
Now, here's what's cool. We just hook it to a standard garden hose. All he did was flip a switch, and I'll give you the honors.
Yep.
And now you've got 1,700 PSI to work with a Vario pressure nozzle.
Yep.
That allows me to change the fan
shoot
spray.
this way.
That's fine.
Check this out. So it's 1,700 PSI, which is more than you need, but it's from 40 degrees down to basically a stream, which is about 5 degrees.
Yeah.
Adjustable fan, but then also adjustable pressure. So if I turn this down, I can turn this all the way down. It's a minus.
Which, by the way, being able to turn a pressure washer down is something most pressure washers cannot do. They can only change the fan spray. I can't tell you how critical that is, because there are times when you want less pressure to be able to clean more, like on a car.
That's exactly right. So there's a built-in detergent tank. So when you turn it all the way to the lowest pressure, there's part of the science, sucks at it, it's an induction valve. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna, first of all, on low pressure, there's the soap right there. On my good friend Dave's car, I'm gonna wash it off for him. He's a mountain man, he likes to get things dirty, so I'm gonna clean it up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take this and run it all the way open, wide open, okay? So now we're full blast, the soap will come out, finish up, and then I'm just gonna wash off his car. And check this out, see how that mud, grime, grease peels right off? No damage to the paint, no damage to the car, but remember, we've already vacuumed. Now, we vacuumed the inside, now we're cleaning the outside, all with one amazing Sun Joe product.
Now, that's a pressure washer. 1,700 PSI for 150 bucks. That isn't bad. That is not a bad price. I will also say this motor is much more quiet than so many, And this is the same pressure washer that you're going to use to clean, brick pavers, to be able to do your deck. It literally can turn back the clock by being able to get rid of that bio yuck that forms every year in the winter on the north side of everything. So it does everything other pressure washers will do. But again, with the flip of a switch, we can now go from pressure washing to wet dry vacuuming.
Back to a vacuum. It's insane. So yeah, let's say we're done the car. We'll get back to that in a second.
Yep.
I'm going to just turn this. I'm going to hit that switch. Okay. And now we've got a vacuum. Like that. It's insane. You almost don't believe it until you see it. So the exact same machine. I didn't unplug anything. I didn't change any filters.
Right.
I didn't do anything.
Normally, again, wet dry vacuum, when you go from dry to wet, you have to take the filter out. You got to open it up. You have to change a couple things. There's usually a float that you add, and it's time consuming. On Joe's, you just turn it on. It doesn't matter whether it's wet, whether it's dry, and then how do I empty this vat?
And then there's just a latch here. There's just a latch here that you flip, you pull it out and dump it. It couldn't be any easier. It's like a regular vacuum. It really is. This product to me,
I think it's brilliant.
It's the epitome of what Sun Joe does.
I think it's brilliant. I agree.
Because what they do better than anyone is they take common everyday problems and everyday products and they make them easier to solve, more efficient to solve, and the products themselves easier to use. When in your life did you think you would see a combination vacuum power washer that works this well?
And you know what? A wet dry vacuum is not just, for guys like me that have workshops. How many times do you have a wet spill? And for me, it's everything from old plumbing, really old plumbing, to being, we had a situation where the ice maker in the refrigerator got too frozen and I wound up with water on the kitchen floor. That's what you use it for. This thing's on wheels. It's easy to move around, and you get all the tools that are necessary to make it a really effective clean for cleaning automobiles, being able to clean floors, and even extract water from carpets if need be.
And it's wet dry, so you get this. You get a couple different attachments here, which are really important. You see them in the video too, because what this is a wet dry squeegee. So you can squeegee up messes in the garage. If you need, if you have a sump pump.
Power wash the garage floor, and then suck the water up so it's dry right away.
It's like, when have you ever been able to do that? It's like, where have you been all my life?
Yeah.
You get a hard bristle, basically a crevice tool here. You get a pet brush that also will clean pet hair off the seats of your car or off of anywhere. It really is this thing that you will start to find uses for this product.
Okay, our price of $149.98 is a great price tag. This is in the marketplace right now for over $250. They're the first people in the marketplace to have come up with a great common sense solution. The heart and soul of any pressure washer is the pump. The heart of any great wet dry vacuum is also a pump. So you're getting the Sun Joe electric wet dry vac combination with the pressure washer. You get the trigger gun, you get the lance, you get 20 feet of high pressure hose, you get the wet dry floor brush, the bristle brush, a crevice tool, extension tubes, and 5 feet of wet dry vacuum hose. $258.98 would be the normal retail price. We're at $149. And again, this is not wimped down, scaled down so that it can do both. That's a 1700 PSI machine, so it can do things like second story eaves.
Yeah.
We'll do a little bit of scrubbing.
Let me show you what 1700 PSI means. It means getting your second story windows without breaking them or messing them up. You can get the shingles, you can get the siding on your home. But then if you want to come down here, because we're on the jet setting right now. So if I fan this out a little bit, no problem. I can widen it. Okay, that'll take a little pressure off. And then we can come in here and do our siding. Okay, we could do around our lamps.
That's good.
But it won't damage the lamp, won't break the glass. But look at this, we're taking all the mud, the grime, the green stuff, all that nonsense, taking it right off. It's easy to use. I'm not getting wet, not getting soaked, no worries about safety whatsoever, and we're good to go. And that's what I love about it. This is just so well thought out, Dan. I love this product.
Little tiny thing. I've been selling pressure washers here for 20 years. And it's the first pressure washer where I could actually dial down the pressure. And the reason for that is normally the only thing that you can change on a pressure washer is how wide that spray happens to be. By the way, do you know which way the wind is blowing?
Right in our face.
Yes, we do.
I got to tell you though, it's about 93 degrees out here. It kind of felt nice. I'm sorry. It's a beautiful suit, but
this jacket cost me almost 18
I got to tell you, that
bucks,
mist was great because it is smoking out here. It really is.
Let's go back.
It's
Let's
a personal
go back to
mister.
vacuum.
I mean, it's a 3-in-1.
Again, this is the same exact piece of equipment right now that he just demonstrated the attributes of a pressure washer, and yet with a flip of a switch.
Yeah, so watch this. I will do this real time. I will hold both ends. So I'm going to take the attachment off. All right, so watch how long it takes. Ready? This is a power washer. Okay, we power wash something. Here we go, and we're vacuuming in less than 10 seconds.
Now,
look at
normally, again, going from wet to dry vacuuming is a hassle because you've got to open the machine, put a float in, and pull the filter out. With this, you don't. You can go from wet to dry. So my thought process was, again, cleaning my shop floor, which I do every single week. And we use a pressure washer. But then usually I've got to squeegee it out. And now I can squeegee it and vacuum up that dirt and water all at one time.
When did you think you would ever see that?
Brilliant.
It's so, and I use it in the car because the car is just such a great example.
I agree.
But there's so many things you can do. And this is powerful.
Wash the exterior.
You see how this mat's kind of coming up because it's so powerful? So this is not some wimpy vacuum. This is not something where like, okay, you get 2 products, each one works about 50%.
Yeah.
This works 100% on both. It is a very powerful vacuum, 1700 PSI power washer. So you're getting both jobs done as effectively as you could possibly ask for. And so we're coming back through here. This is the sand, the dirt, the grime that's built up in your car all summer long. So you want to bring your mats out and you want to vacuum. Okay, no problem. For most of you, that job would now be over. So if we want to wash the car, that's a different machine, a different whatever it might be. Well, guess what? Not now.
Not now.
We'll just flip this right over.
There you go, sir.
And guess what? Now.
And Scott and I have been friends for a long time. Listen, I am probably the most jaded one here. I've been here.
you are skeptical.
I am.
To be diplomatic.
This really surprised me, and I didn't think there were anything left in this world in terms of outdoor power equipment to surprise me, because I've been in the game for so long. I'm just really, really impressed at how well they did both, and all I'm going to do is say, I wish we had this thing at Father's Day. Guys would have rocked with this.
I love what I do for a living. I love my job. I really do. And I got to tell you what I love probably most about it is seeing products like this.
That surprise you.
You and I heard it. We didn't see it. And when they brought it to us, when Joe Cohen, the owner of Sun Joe, said, I've got a combination vacuum, like you said, might as well be a combination waffle iron helicopter.
He told me this 2 years ago that they were working on the engineering. And I didn't in any way, shape, or form mean to be disrespectful. He's been such a brilliant engineer, and he's never failed. But I did the same thing. I laughed at him.
There's no way.
I went, his common sense said, they both require a pump to make them work. Why can't I use one pump to drive both?
Just a matter of which way it goes, in or out. And I was like, well, that's why you're Sun Joe, and that's why I'm Scott High. It's that simple, because look at this.
That's exactly right. You and me both.
1700 PSI. So way more than you need to clean off a car. It's got the power.
It's the best machine I've seen for cleaning a vehicle.
Yeah, because
Bar none.
You don't want to do damage. 1700 PSI is strong enough to clean.
If you've got a boat, you need this for your boat. Because you literally are dragging 2 pieces of equipment out into the driveway to do the job. Not anymore.
And the nice thing about it is, it's so powerful that, say you are someone who doesn't want to use chemicals or soap on your car, you're worried about them going into the grass or the environment, you can just use water to clean your car because it's powerful enough to do it.
And here it is. Here's the Sun Joe Electric combination. Again, wet dry back and pressure washer. You get the trigger gun, the lance, the pressure hose. All of it, $258.98 is the retail value. We've got it on the air at $149.98. I've been looking forward to showing this for 2 years. It's finally here. Scott Hine, thank you, sir. Always appreciate your time, and I appreciate your time as